Hello, let's practice yoga. Day 40. So, continuing with what we've already learnt, we are going to draw into core strength today. Let's take a comfortable position, whether that be cross-legged, sukhasana, kneeling in a chair to begin with, or with your legs stretched out in front of you. Just get yourself comfortable. Perhaps have a wall behind you to support your back, to have your head and your shoulders aligned centrally over your hips. And draw up, elevate through the torso, activate and engage any part of the body which may be sluggish, which may be tired, which may be lazy. Activate and engage. It's a simple message from the mind to the body, telling it to awaken. Relax your neck and throat, unclench your teeth, soften the shoulders. You'll find possibly that a lot of the tension you retain within you is around the neck, throat, the shoulders, because the stimuli, the information that we are constantly battered by, it comes in through the eyes, the mind, around the face, which could tend to make us tighten and clench the teeth, tighten the jawline and draw into the shoulders, so that years upon years of stress and tension make us become rigid. Whereas if we recognize and remember that although all this information comes into us, we can let it go instantly if we choose. For as much as we breathe in and take in, we breathe out and let out. Exhalation is surrender. It is release. It is letting go. You are constantly breathing out after your breath in. So that would be logical then, that you can constantly let go. Let's take a simple mudra with the fingers, the index finger making a circle with the thumb, and rest the backs of your hands on your knees so that the palms of your hands face the ceiling. This is a position of receptiveness. You are showing you're willing to receive. You're happy to receive. Close the eyes, unclench the teeth, and tune in. Observe your breath cycle and its synchronicity with the activity of your belly button. And notice that as you begin to watch the breath, it lengthens and deepens, which is a positive activity. For when the breath lengthens and deepens, not only are you increasing lung capacity and cleaning, aligning of the lungs, you are also soothing the nervous system and calming the parasympathetic nervous system. And all of these things are positive. They allow you to have a greater sense of peace. Tune into this. And then, if you had your eyes closed, open them, release the mudra. Bring your hands under your knees, draw your knees in towards yourself, and forearms around the shins, and give yourself a hug. And release. Bring the feet together in front of you and glue the knees together. Bring your hands either side of you. Avoid leaning back. You're going to still keep the head and shoulders over the hips, and then you're gently going to roll the knees to the left, to the right. Be aware if you're doing this, if you're allowing those knees to separate, you want to glue the knees together. Mobilising your hips, bringing your focus to your abdominals, especially the belly button. And then return to that central position. Bring the arms around the shins and give yourself a hug. And release. We're going to begin with Krankasana, the heron. There are two variations of having the stabilising leg, so we're going to practice both. If you have a belt or strap, bring that close into you now so that you can use it. A great working tool. And of course have a cushion close by as well. Let's extend the legs out in front of us. Stabilise your two sitting bones onto the mat. You can use your hands to collect the flesh of your buttocks and move it so that you tip yourself a little further forward onto your ischium. You'll take two fingers and a thumb of your right hand and bring those round to draw behind the left knee. As you bend the left knee, you're creating some space, you're pulling some flesh out from behind that left knee. You then take your left hand and rotate the soft flesh of the calf muscle outwards. So again, you are making some space, and you turn the knee back upon itself. It's at this point again that you check that you are well grounded in the sit bones. If you feel that because you've bent that left knee back, you're now leaning to the right, you can take your cushion and you can prop it up underneath your right hip, so it helps stabilise you. Breathe in, bend the right knee. This is the point where you can bring your belt into action by placing it under the ball of the right foot, or you can link your fingers and place them underneath the foot. Or you can just use the hands, the fingers, either side of the foot, whatever feels good for you in your practice today. Take a breath in and draw up through the trunk of the body. Lift and elevate. Release the right heel away from the mat, and slowly upon your exhalation, begin to extend the leg to straighten. Doesn't have to be up too high, even if it's down here with the belt. It can be down at a low level. You're holding the belt and you're using the breath, and you're working towards loosening in the right hip, relaxing, rising up through the trunk of the body. Many things to be thinking about whilst in the position. All possibilities. You're practicing from a point of composure, of calm. And then you allow that leg to release and extend it forward, and then release the left leg. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. And then breathe in and draw the heel of the left foot as close up towards the perineum as you can. Now, if your left knee is now hanging about in mid-air and you feel that it's tensing and contracting, give it some support. Once the body feels supported, it's almost as if it takes a sigh of relief and it relaxes, it lets go. Let's once again bend the right knee and bring yourself round to collect that right foot in your hands or your belt. Rise up through the trunk of the body, draw the right heel away from the mat, and as you begin to exhale, you start to straighten. Remembering no force, no rush, no competition. You are calm and composed, simply observing the breath and discovering your true potential for movement. And when you're ready to come out, you gently bend the right leg, extend it forward, same with the left leg, and give it a bit of a shake. Let's practice exactly the same on the other side now. The most fantastic thing about yoga is that you are bringing equality to your brain. You are using both sides with equal vigour and dynamism. Let's take 2 fingers and a thumb from the left hand and place it under the right knee, just pulling a little bit of flesh out the way as you bend that knee in towards you, and you take your right hand, grab the flesh of your right calf muscle, roll it outwards as you bend it back upon itself, so that your toes of your right foot point towards the wall behind you. Again, at this moment, if you feel that you've lost the connection of your right sit bone with the mat and you're leaning to your left, bring the cushion underneath that left hip, that left buttock, so that it stabilises you, balances you, aligns you, so that you feel the connection of both sit bones with the mat once more. Let the breath flow. And be aware that if you do have knee injuries, be gentle with yourself. And if you go into the position and it doesn't feel right, then that's possibly telling you that it's not right for you and you should come out of the posture. It doesn't mean that it won't, that it will always be that way. It means that you just need to take it slower. Observe more as you're opening the flesh of the calf muscle away, as you're peeling skin back from the back of the knee to create space, as you're breathing into it. There are so many levels to work at through yoga. You can never become bored. There's just too much to do. Too many alternative positions, too many strands, branches of each position. Rise up through the trunk of your body, checking that your head and shoulders are over your hips. Release the left heel away from the mat and exhale, begin to straighten that leg. And it's fine if the leg doesn't straighten, if the knee is bent but you're working towards getting your heel aligned with your knee in the early stages, that's great. Remember, you could have a wall behind you so that it's actually supporting your back, so the trunk of your body is upright like the wall. You take your time. You focus. This is your discovery of yourself. And when you release, Be kind to yourself, support the leg as you bring it back onto the mat. The right leg, release it, give them a little bit of a shake if you need to. Breathe in, draw the heel of the right foot in towards the perineum, and then bend the left knee and bring the hands, also recognising if your knee is up and unsupported, then give it a cushion underneath. A nice deep inhalation, checking that the trunk of the body is elevating, and begin to straighten that left leg. Have your chin parallel with the mat. Breathe in through the nostrils, be aware of the air entering the nostrils. Acknowledge the lungs inflating. And then also experience the release of breath as you surrender into the position. And then releasing from the position with the grace and strength that you entered. Both legs forward. Give a little bit of a shake. Let's breathe in now and draw the heels of both feet in towards the perineum. And let's link our hands around the balls of each foot. Same hand, collecting, same foot. Let's rise up through the trunk of our body. Remember, it might be quite good at this point if you feel that you don't have enough core strength to find full balance, because in a few moments we will be balancing on our sitting bones. You can have a wall behind you. Let's release the right foot first, taking it away from the mat. Nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, can we straighten? Again, not judging yourself if it doesn't straighten. If the leg's to here, that's fine. It's all part of a working process. And as you continue observing your breath, it will guide you, it will let you know as and when the muscles, tendons and ligaments within are stretching, releasing. Another breath in, moving on to the other side, and as you breathe out, that's when you stretch, lengthen, surrender. It's always on the breath out that you will find that activity taking place. Breathing in is the part of making the space and the elevation, and the breathing out is the moving into that space. Let's see now if we can take the balance onto our sit bones. Let's extend the chest forward to avoid us rolling back. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, can we straighten the right leg? Again, no judgment if the leg doesn't straighten fully. That's fine, it will do in time. We can breathe in, bend, breathe out, straighten. Let's see if we can keep this with our flow of breath. So you're always exhaling when you extend, and you breathe into the centre. Teeth unclenched. Can we see now if we can extend one leg and then the other? Teeth unclenched, skin on the face soft, breath flowing. Tune in to the activity of your belly button, synchronized with your breath. And then gently release, coming into a cross-legged position. Rise up through the trunk of the body and exhale. So continuing with core strength of the abdominals, let's bring ourselves to practice navasana, boat posture. So we'll take our feet out in front of us with the knees bent. We'll have our feet about hip width apart. let's link our arms underneath our hamstrings. Nice deep breath in as we draw up through the trunk of the body. Keep the chin parallel with the mat, the ground. Another exhalation as we surrender without collapsing into the position. And then breathe in, let's take the balance on the sitting bones. Let's ensure that our shoulder blades are drawing towards each other, taking our shoulders back, keeping the shoulders relaxed and away from the ears. The chest moves forward towards the thighs, it pushes forward towards the wall in front of you, helping to keep a nice strong spinal cord. Breathe in and let's bring the toes to eye level in line with the knees. Can we bend and straighten the legs alternately? Keeping the teeth unclenched, the skin on the face soft. Can we see if we can bring the hands beside the legs and bend and straighten alternately? And then let's just bring the feet back down, bring the hands around the shins, give yourself a hug. And then take up the position again. It's your choice whether you want to turn the palms upwards or the palms downwards, whatever feels good to you. Take a nice deep breath in. Ensure that the heart lifts and pushes forward. And see if you can straighten the legs. And then bend the knees in, bring the feet to the mat and give yourself a hug. The boat pose, Navasana. It's a great position for increasing the power, the strength within your abdominals. And now let's continue our practice of the headstand. I've interwoven the practice of this king of all postures since day 1, and we're now on day 40. If you are watching this video for the first time and have not watched any of the previous days, why not go back right to the beginning, day 1, and start the practice there. So, we know that we make a triangle shape on the mat in front of us using hands, forearms, elbows and head. So let's make that position now. Let's intertwine the fingers so we make a nice cup with the hands, which our crown of head will rest in. We're going to take them and place them on the mat in front of us. Have your elbows shoulder width apart. Nice deep inhalation to prepare. Unclench your teeth. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Breathe in and take the weight of the head forward as you lift the buttocks and place the crown of the head into the comfort of the hands. Let's turn our toes under. Another breath in and let's lift the buttocks and straighten the legs. Take a couple of rounds of breath here to accommodate the position, to acknowledge what your mind is asking your body to do. Avoid crashing all your weight down into the crown of your head. Allow your body weight to disperse into your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands.
Draw the belly button back towards the base of the spine, giving it support as you practice. If this is enough for you here, then bring the knees back down, turn the toes under, and slowly release the buttocks to the heels of the feet and just soften and surrender, let go. Erase any tension that you may have drawn into your upper body around the shoulders and the neck. If you feel you can go further, you breathe in once again, making that nice comfortable position for the head, checking your foundations. And once you are on your toes with your legs straight, walk your toes in towards you. There'll come a point where they quite naturally just want to raise up away from the floor. And then bend those heels in towards your buttocks. Adjust, adapt, and accommodate your lower body weight now that it is above your head. Do be aware as well that inverted positions are not for women who are on their menses, because it will interrupt the natural flow of blood. In this position, you learn to focus, breathe, have an upward lightness about yourself, and see if you can start to raise the toes upwards. If you feel that you're wobbling and going to crash out of the position, that means your ego is asking you to go too far too soon, and you should go back to a lower level of the position to practice. Using the stomach to control the movement, to increase the strength, is your aim, your goal. Coming down with as much patience, observation, perseverance as you went up is crucial, because the way out of a position is just as important as the way in. In a kneeling position with the buttocks against the heels of your feet and your forehead on the mat, allow the new levels of rich oxygenated blood within your brain to regulate. And then with chin on chest, slowly restack the bones of your spine, and once your hips become centered with the shoulders above them, then the chin can rise and become parallel with the mat. Finding yourself in a kneeling position, and again, if you need a little bit of added comfort, place a cushion between the buttocks and the heels of the feet. Let's place one palm on top of the other, point of thumbs touching. Close the eyes and be aware of how you feel internally, externally. You may possibly feel that you have this new electric energy buzzing around inside of you, increasing your feelings of strength and determination, increasing your experience of mobility and health, general well-being.
explore these feelings. Remember, yoga is a discovery of the self. It is your journey. There is no rush. You are in no competition with anybody else. You are in no competition with yourself. Be kind to yourself in your practice. Be unjudgmental. Be persevering and patient. And give yourself positive affirmation. Positive affirmations are word, sentences or phrases that you tell yourself, and the more you repeat them, the more they become your reality. So let's have a positive affirmation today. I am more balanced, and this gives me happiness. I am more balanced, and this gives me happiness. I am more balanced, and this gives me happiness. Repeat the sentence over and over in your mind and have it manifest to become your reality. I am more balanced, and this brings me happiness. And then you can open the eyes, you can release the hands, maybe give the fingertips a little bit of a shake, almost as if you're shaking water droplets off the end of the fingertips. Bring the palms of the hands together to rest at the heart, to give thanks for your practice, and to move forward, and to move forward throughout the rest of your day, safe in the knowledge that yoga is good for you.